In this video, we are going to look at the Cerwin-Vega AT15, the speakers that changed my life forever. This massive set of speakers has lived with me in 5 states and over 20 homes and apartments. I'll share my own personal story about the journey these speakers and I have been on, how I most likely fed half of Des Moines pizza in order to get them, and we'll look at how this speaker widely became known as the ultimate party speaker. But first, we've got to go back to 1989 and the night I first laid my eyes and ears on a set of Cerwin-Vega AT15s. This video is brought to you by SkylabsAudio.com. We are now stocking regular CDs and SA CDs. We've got hats, slip mats, and our RCA cables are back in stock. Head over to SkylabsAudio.com. Appreciate you watching. Thanks. As someone aspiring to be the next Tommy Lee, I spent every free second I had from school practicing drums to Metallica and Motley Crue. I destroyed several sets of speakers trying to get the volume louder than my massive drum set and ear-crushing cymbals. I had almost given up thinking that other than a PA system from a Coliseum, I was not going to be able to achieve this. And then one night in 1989, at the age of 17, I went to a party at a house that I had never been to before. I really remember it like it was yesterday. I remember pulling up in my 1982 Mustang and hearing this crazy loud volume coming out of this tiny house. It literally was rattling the windows. And I remember opening up the door, getting hit with this massive wall of cigarette smoke and music at decibels I had never heard in a house. And I instantly thought, that's it. Whoever house this is had unlocked the secret, and I was now on a mission to find the source. I immediately pushed my way through all the kids and the smoke until I saw them. There they were, the biggest home speakers I had ever seen. And as my eyes scanned down the front grill cloth, I saw it. In black and gold, it said Cerwin-Vega. I had never heard of them. And I'm almost positive what I did next could have landed me a punch in the face, but I didn't care. I had to see what was going on behind that grill cloth. So I got my fingernails behind the grills, I pulled it forward, and as soon as my eyes saw that 15-inch woofer with that reddish orange surround bouncing back and forth just like the kids in that room's heads, I knew I had to have them. But before I tell you how many hours I had to work at Pizza Hut to get them, let's talk about the details of the speaker, and that'll help explain why the speaker got the nickname, the ultimate party speaker.
Hello, and welcome to Cerwin-Vega.
The AT15 was introduced in the mid-80s. This is a 3-way speaker with a soft dome tweeter, 2 mid-range, and a 15-inch woofer. They have a frequency response of 28 Hz to 28 kilohertz. They have high and mid tone controls, which really don't do much at all. The AT15s are 36 inches tall, 19 inches wide, and 18 inches deep. It's like a large college refrigerator. They weigh almost 90 pounds. They have 102 dB sensitivity. And even though a small 15 watt per channel amplifier will chase you out of the room, trust me, I know this for a fact, they rated the power handling on the Cerwin-Vega AT15s up to 400 watts. And this will come up later when we talk about the sound. This is a ported speaker, and the port is huge. This is nice when you're 17 years old because it allows you to have a super sneaky stash spot right in your speaker.
You put your weed in there.
And even though the cabinet materials they used, it's not the best, I'm not going to lie. And you'll see that later when I show you mine. But I love the looks of these speakers, even though essentially it's just a big rectangular box. Those angled grills and the beveled edges, They just have a stance to them that gets attention. When people walk into a room and see AT-15s, they take notice because they look like a very serious speaker capable of achieving really loud SPLs. And that's exactly what they do. And although production dates and the original MSRP of the AT-15 are a little bit vague and vary online, I know for a fact I bought mine brand new at Rex Audio and Appliance on Douglas Avenue, 1989 for $800 for the pair. Now, $800 definitely doesn't seem like a lot of money today, but when you're 16, 17 years old, you're working at Pizza Hut for $3.85 an hour, maybe 15 hours a week because I was in high school at that time. It took 200 hours at $3.85 an hour to come up with $800. But that's how bad I wanted these speakers. I needed them. I had to have them. I made it happen. And I know some of you dads out there went, that's a lot of dough. And you're right. That's a lot of sauce and dough. Oh, man. Subscriber loss incoming. I've got to say this up front. Most of the time, if I talk about how something sounds, a piece of equipment, in a video, I really try and keep it tame. I want to make sure that I didn't miss something with that piece of equipment. Maybe I didn't get a chance to listen to it in the right room or the right setting. So I really try and keep my opinion closer to the neutral side. Not this one. Not at all. I am 100% positive that I have listened to these speakers more than any other speaker in my life. I know this speaker inside and out. I know where it shines. I know where it's not that great. I've listened to every genre of music out there at every volume level imaginable, in every room shape you could possibly come up with. My AT-15s have the battle scars to prove it, and I'll show you those here in a minute. But where this speaker really shines is in a very large room with a lot of people. And I don't think Cerwin Vega would disagree with me on this. The bass is huge. The mids get the job done. The tweeters, they will take your head off. And this is exactly what you want for a big room with a lot of people. It really reminds me of an arena PA. If you're in a big arena with no bodies in it and they start cranking up the volume, it is deafening. That same room with a full crowd in it, it sounds good. You need those bodies to absorb some of that high frequency. It's no different with the Cerwin Vega AT-15. These are not a set of speakers, in my opinion, that you sit down in front of the sweet spot, you grab a glass of wine, and you let the timbre of a cello just wash over you. Music at low volumes on the AT-15s sounds kind of dull, kind of lifeless. These speakers want to be played loud. And in my opinion, in 1989, they did it better than 99% of the speakers out there. For me and my friends at the age of 17, hearing the Black Album, Nevermind, Dr. Feelgood, all of these iconic hard rock and metal albums on a set of AT-15s, it was perfect. We wanted 110 decibels and we wanted it to sound good. The amount of time my friends and I sat there and talked about girls, new bands, what we wanted our life to be in front of those speakers is mind-blowing to me. They were worth every single penny. They were worth every single pizza I made. Let's go look at them. I'll show you. They're right in the back room. I literally just pulled these out of storage. I really haven't laid eyes on them in probably, I don't know, 2-3 years. And it looks like one of the woofers got some damage. Something must have pushed into it. This is actually the first woofer I ever refoamed. All of a sudden I noticed that, the bass wasn't sounding as good, and I went to push on the foams. My finger went right through it. So I figured out that you could refoam speakers. I had no idea when I did these. I bought the kit. I sat there at my kitchen table I refoamed them and I was like, this is actually kind of easy. And that's kind of how this whole business really got started. This one's got cone damage now. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to make the decision of whether or not I can live with this, get it corrected somehow, or send them off and have new cones put on. Let's see, it's just creased. These are the tone controls I was talking about. They really don't do hardly anything at all. Even brand new, I remember turning them going, I don't really hear a difference. You get your two mid-range, one's completely pushed in. The dust caps on these things would have been smoked a long time ago if it wasn't for this metal grill. And then the tweeter. I know the bracing on one of these, there's some bracing, I think, going from here to here or here to here. I don't remember which now. It's been a while since I've been inside of them. I know that's missing because when I was moving them here, I heard something roll around. I would say that brace is missing, or it's laying in the bottom of the speaker. You can see all these dings and dents all over the place on these things. Big scratches. Yeah, the wood isn't the best. The cabinets aren't the best. It is what it is. Oh, you want to see something crazy? Here, let me show you the grill cloths. And I did have part of my memory wrong. In my head, the badges were at the bottom of the speaker, and they're not. They're at the top. Truth of the matter is, I never had these on. I wanted to see those big orange rings. That's just who I am. These things are just destroyed. There's probably more DNA on these than most crime scenes. There's cat scratch marks. I might try just gluing them back. I'm gonna leave the original fabric on them. I don't care how they look. This one's not as bad a condition, but it's still pretty bad. And I did pull this woofer out too. That way you can see what's going on inside of there. Oh yeah, there's that brace right there. It's just rolling around. I knew I heard something. Oh look, here's another one. And there's the size of that port. I bet a canine dog would have a field day with this material right here. A lot of warts, a lot of scrapes, a lot of dings from me moving these things up and down apartment stairways by myself. And there's candle wax all over them. I'm surprised, honestly, they're as in good a shape as they are. I beat the hell out of them. It's a fun speaker. I love them. So even with all of those condition issues and our ability to actually really restore these speakers, I honestly have no interest in it at all. Every one of those battle scars on those speakers is a mirror to every wrinkle on my face. Besides a few records, photos, a few CDs, there isn't anything else that I've taken to every state, every home, every apartment I've had in the last 30 years. Those speakers are kind of my ride or die. There isn't another piece of equipment that I've listened to more, and they could potentially be the last thing I ever own if I have it my way. In my head, at some point, I do hope to have a really large shop space, a place where I can go and tinker, work on things, and that's where I want them to go, so they can do what they do best, and that is play music at absurdly loud levels. Who knows, maybe I'll even break out my old drum set and twirl some sticks. If you like this video, you should definitely go watch this one with some of the other pieces of equipment that I considered life-changing.